Let's talk about a number that sounds absolutely shocking, but for millions of parents, it's a harsh reality. $30,000. This is what's known as the childcare trap, and today we're going to break down how it might be costing you way more than just money.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and start with a really tough question. Is it actually possible that the job you go to every day, the one that's supposed to be providing for your family, is literally costing you money to have? So, how do we figure this out? Well, the source material gives us this quick little financial exercise. It's kind of a reality check that your HR department really hopes you never do. Okay, I want you to picture your last paycheck. Got it in your head? Good. First, let's just subtract all the federal and state taxes. Now, take out what it costs you just to get to work. Gas, a train ticket, and any money you had to spend on work clothes. And finally, subtract the big one, your childcare bill. So what's left? And here's the part that is just mind-blowing. For a staggering number of working parents, especially moms, that final number isn't just small. Nope, it's negative. Think about that. You're effectively paying to go to work. This, right here, is the heart of the trap. So how on earth did we get here? Let's really dig into the numbers and see what this $30,000 trap is actually all about.
Okay, first things first, let's just stare at that sticker shock number. $30,000. And that's not some far-off fantasy figure. According to this source, by 2026, that's what you could be paying for just 1 year of full-time infant care in states like Massachusetts or California.
And this is where it gets really wild. That 30 grand, in a lot of places, it's actually more than you'd pay for a year of in-state college tuition. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. We're paying more for 1 year of infant care than for 1 year of higher education. And this visual just lays it all out, doesn't it? The after-tax reality. See that big bar on the left? That's your gross salary. Let's say a nice-sounding $70,000. That's the number we all get excited about, right? But here's the kicker. You pay for childcare with your after-tax money. So after the government takes its slice, and then the daycare takes its huge slice, look at that tiny little bar left over. That's what you're actually taking home. You could be working for what amounts to just a few dollars an hour. And this trap, it's not just about the money, is it? It's a trap of time and energy, too. It's the gas you're burning on your commute, the extra cash you drop on takeout because you're just too wiped to cook. And then there's the cost you can't even put a number on. All those missed family moments. Okay, I can hear you thinking it right now. But wait, what about my career? If I stop working, won't I ruin my future earnings? And that is a totally valid, very real fear. It's what keeps a lot of us feeling stuck. Yeah, in economics, they have a term for this, opportunity cost. The source material calls it the lifetime earnings defense. It's basically this idea that if you step out of the workforce, you're not just losing the salary you have today, you're losing all the raises and promotions you could have had down the line. It's that fear of falling behind that keeps people chained to jobs that are literally costing them money. But, and this is a huge but, here's the line from the source that just flips that whole argument on its head. In today's world, right now, that old idea of a straight, predictable, linear career path, it's pretty much dead. So, okay, if the old way of calculating our worth is broken, then we obviously need a new one. Let's talk about a different framework for how we think about our work, our value, and most importantly, our time. The source calls this a marginal utility audit, which sounds super complicated, but it's not. It boils down to one simple question. Is the mental benefit you get from your job worth the financial cost? Look, if your job is your lifeline, if it gives you purpose and sanity, maybe that financial hit is worth it for your mental health. But if you're miserable and broke, then you have to ask yourself, are you just staying out of habit? And this right here, this is such a powerful alternative. The fractional work model. It just asks a very logical question. Why work 40 hours a week if your net financial gain is basically zero? What if instead you worked just a fraction of those hours? Imagine a graphic designer who leaves a draining full-time job to take on just a couple of freelance clients. She might work, say, 15 hours a week from home. And when you do the math, she often ends up with more money in her pocket and, the real prize, way more time with her family. After all the numbers and all the math, this really brings us to the most important point of all. It's a fundamental truth we sometimes forget. And that truth is just perfectly captured right here. You are more than a line item in a corporate budget. Just read that again. Your skills, your time, your sanity, they have a value that no spreadsheet could ever calculate.
So here's the bottom line. The whole point of this isn't to tell you what to do. It's to give you the power to choose. Whether you stay in your job, leave it, or find a new way to work. That choice should be yours, made with your eyes wide open, based on your real numbers, not on fear, and not on what you think you're supposed to do. You've seen the math. So what's your choice?